Hi! Okay, this video is for Katie D, and it's in response to your video about reducing behaviors, and you asked if anybody had any ideas about other grounding techniques. And I know that at this point you've probably seen like 60 million videos about people's coping boxes, but I think I'm more trying to share with you what's in my coping box or whatever. It's used for distress tolerance, but I use it kind of for emotion regulation as well. So these are some of the things that I have in mind. First of all, I'm going to show you the box. I made it bigger than like a shoebox. I didn't want something, I wanted to be able to fit a lot of things in it. So I went to Michael's and I got this suitcase thing. So it's pretty big. And then on the inside, I don't know, I mean, it's kind of cheesy, but I haven't done cheesy very well before, so I'm trying to be cheesy. I put some quotes and like printouts of things that I think are helpful, things that I want to be reminded of. So then inside of my coping box, I know you've probably heard of a coping bank as well, but I have this little tissue box that I painted that I put just like ideas of ways to cope in the moment, like journal, just little strips of paper inside of that. Then actually you mentioned face masks, and they do sell individual face masks at Target, so I just got one and put it in there, so that takes like 15 minutes to wait out. So I feel like with binging and purging, it's kind of, if I can actually remind myself to go to the box and do it, that's a good way to spend some time doing something else and you know, get some space, like you mentioned. I also, like you mentioned, your transitional mug. I have a tin that I just put some like tea bags in, tea that I find soothing. So like for me that's like ginger tea, decaf green tea, chai, peppermint is good to settle your stomach, and when I'm really upset my stomach tends to get kind of screwy. So that's what that tin is full of. Then I put, and this I have yet to try yet, but I put this envelope with flashcards in it with like different situations, like if I'm having a lot of trouble with my body image. And I know in your video I think you were mostly talking specifically about binging and purging, but you know, there's stuff that can apply to that too. But so for instance, for body image, I put believable affirmations. So I've not found saying I'm beautiful particularly helpful, but if I have things written down that I really think that I'm more likely to believe or feel good about myself, like I have a way of communicating with people that tends to be really compassionate and that people can receive, that doesn't feel trite, that I really like about myself. So that's one thing that I value about myself. Or I don't believe in turning away from people's pain. And I really like that about myself too. Eating sort of healthy self-dialogue, getting into comfortable but not ugly clothes. I've lately been wearing a lot of my dad's shirts, which is fine, you know, if it helps me feel tolerable or able to tolerate. But remember, this too shall pass, and my recovery is a long-term investment. Go to my self-care Pinterest board, call, email, write someone. So then support, I won't go through all of these, but you know, call a friend, and I have a group on my phone called Friends I Can Call. Email therapist, write a letter, go to a coffee shop, online forum, do something creative and nice for someone I love. Distraction, which is a good one. Clean, organize car, room, etc. Play a game on my tablet. So that's one thing you didn't mention. I know that it's not as grounding necessarily, but it is something that, at least for me, can really suck me in for a while. And if you're anything like me where you get like sort of like one focused on something, I get really drawn into computer games. I don't really play them a lot, but I do have some games that I downloaded on my tablet, and they usually, they're not cheap, but if you pay like $5 for a game, it'll usually keep you occupied for several hours because there are different levels and stuff, if not more than that. So if you have like a game that you're excited about, on your computer or your tablet, or you know, if you don't have a tablet, your phone, whatever, that you don't use until you need to use it. That could be like a helpful distraction. I put knitting also, like you put crocheting, going to npr.com, etc. So yeah, those are some of the things that I have in my flashcard envelope. Then I put some little candles in here because candles tend to calm me down. So candles smell nice. Aromatherapy. The Slinky in here, which is sort of weird, but it actually really helped me one night. It's kind of like distracting, and if you watch the way the light sort of reflects off of it, it can become very sort of hypnotizing. I have some pictures from when I was a kid. Good memories of being younger, I guess, in here. And some letters from some really close friends. But that's me and my cat Belle when I was little, and me at the piano, and just pictures, like that whole idea of like you wouldn't be so harsh toward a child or whatever, just like this ridiculously all red outfit that my mother put me in, and I don't remember this at all, but just stuff that I can kind of laugh at and sympathize with. And I have earplugs because I tend to get sort of like distracted and overstimulated, and that adds to the anxiety in the moment if I want to binge and purge, so earplugs. I put my treatment goals in here, so like stuff to remind me of what it is that goals for treatment, so that I can keep on track with that. Lists of songs to listen to, that sort of thing. My little watercolor set, and watercolor pens that my old art therapist gave me, so that's sort of like a 2-in-1, like, it's something I can use, and it's sort of sentimental, because it was just really sweet of her. I do have a thing of affirmations. I told you, though, they kind of have to be believable things. I have a Let It Go box, which is where I put little sheets of paper with whatever it is that I'm wanting to let go of in that moment. It doesn't always help, but it's something to try. A thing of Play-Doh that someone gave me. Because this is used for things that are not just binging and purging, like if I'm just really upset, I have like a little thing of recipes that I really want to make, which is sort of one of my things in recovery. I want to become more comfortable with food and cooking, so that can be not great when you want to binge and purge, obviously, and also not making anything in bulk or whatever. I have a letter from an old sponsor that she wrote me several years ago about, or it's an email that I printed out, that really just highlights how long, she was saying it lovingly, but it was also like, it's just somebody whose words I take really seriously, and she reminded me of what I need to be doing, as far as this, and how much time I've sacrificed, and it's not like a shitting on Sophia sort of thing, it's just, she's also somebody that I really want back in my life, so that's motivating. So those are some of my ideas. I also, obviously, I have my own mug. Let me go grab that for you. It says trust the process on it. It's one of those, the universe knows mugs, so that's kind of nice. I drink a lot of coffee out of it all the time. And then I have my dialectical behavior skills worksheet thing, workbook for bulimia, and yeah, I hope that that was somewhat helpful. I know that you've probably seen boxes before, but I did just kind of want to respond because I feel like you've been working so hard, and I was so glad that you made another video because I wasn't sure if you were going to keep updating. So I'm glad to hear from you, and I hope that you are having a good Saturday. Bye.